for it. Some people call it a coconut seed, but the coconut itself is actually a nut with a seed. So it comes in, no, this is collards. So these are collards that just came out of the garden, and they're, I wish you could feel them. Greetings, this is Body-Culinary, and I'm inviting you inside the food prep area. So this is what's going on today. So have you ever seen this? I just went to crack a coconut open to make a dish, and I found this in it. So maybe those folks that are from the Caribbean are more used to seeing these. Sometimes if you use a lot of coconuts, from time to time you'll see that some coconuts may have discoloration inside of it, like a pink or a purple, which is not good. That's usually a sign of bacteria. So we don't want to use coconuts that are discolored, that have black or pink or purple inside. If it's cracked, quite often it can have bacteria. And usually I make an effort not to buy coconuts. When you see that little face, I like to have all of the eyes closed. So sometimes there'll be a little piece of the sprout sticking out, and sometimes air can get inside of it. And I found that quite often those will be coconuts that will have bacteria. But this actually is nothing wrong with the coconut. Some folks even eat this. They have different names for it. Some people call it a coconut seed, but the coconut itself is actually a nut with a seed. So it comes inside of another bigger husk that is peeled off before you get to the brown part of the coconut. So this is again the more mature coconut, and then the jelly coconuts where this isn't as developed, those are the baby coconuts. And then you can also find coconuts sometimes that are right in between the young jelly coconut and this one, where the texture of the meat is much more flexible. So when you're growing your own food and you're paying lots of money for organic seeds, and you put so much time into watering and weeding, it's highly likely that you will not be throwing something out because it has a spot on it. And quite often you'll find that lots of organic fruits and vegetables, they may not look as pretty as other fruits and vegetables, but I find that the flavor is much better. I also find that the flavor on the produce and fruits and vegetables that are smaller are actually much more potent in flavor. And I find also, I've been harvesting lots of collards and greens out of the garden. So when they're young, the collards are they're like super tender, sometimes buttery soft. So growing your own food and handling your own food gives you so much information. So with the greens, here's still some kale. What? No, this is kale. This is collards. So these are collards that just came out of the garden, and I wish you could feel them. They're so tender, and the greens that I bought in the States, although they were pretty fresh, they were much more leathery in texture. So some folks that are eating more living foods and incorporating more fresh foods into their intake, into their consumption, may not enjoy some of these greens, these hardier, some people call them leatherier textured greens, because they can be very tough. But I found when you're growing them on your own and harvesting them fresh, the greens are much more tender. So again, you get so much information when you're handling your own food. So grow what you can. Everybody can grow something. Even if you start with pots inside the windowsill or grow lights or whatever have you, because you're going to get so much information and such another kind of respect for your food. So let me know, have you been growing anything? And have you ever experienced this inside of a coconut? Are any of you folks out there familiar with this? All right, love to hear from you. This is Body-Culinary. Please subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you hit the bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. And do check out the puppet series. And I'm posting lots of the things that I'm growing in the garden on the Body-Culinary Instagram page. All right, have a good day.